Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, TheCassanEdit, where I share all things fashion, beauty, and lifestyle, my way of course. Today we're going to talk about all things luxury shopping. I'm going to share how I save, where I go to shop, and I'll also give you guys some tips so you can shop smart. So without further ado, let's get into it. So today I have on a sweater from River Island that I got a couple years ago. I also have it in a light gray color, and I put a Nasty Gal belt on top of it. It's a beautiful crystal belt that's really nice. I'll make sure I link everything down below, and I just have some high-waisted jeans on from H&M. I'll probably stand up so you guys can see what I have on. And it's a beautiful sunny day out today, so I finally don't have to record with the snow trucks in the background. Okay, so I'm all prepared with my notes because you guys had a lot of questions about the luxury shopping topic, and I wanted to make sure I was ready for you guys. The first thing I'm going to talk about is how I save. So I like to purchase one luxury item per year. That doesn't mean it's only limited to one item. It just means I know I want to treat myself to that one thing. I'm splurging once a year on that one thing. So because I know this, I put aside a certain amount of money every single week without fail. And usually I let it accumulate all the way till the end of the year, and either I get that one big thing or I get a few things. Usually it's enough for me to get 3 or 4 things, maybe 3. I always make sure I put aside a certain amount, like it's a bill. Aside from paying my bills and making sure I put money in my savings account, I also make this a payment into one of my checking accounts as if it's a bill. Once I do that, sometimes something will come up before that year is up, and because the money's in there weekly, most of the times there's enough for me to get something if it pops up like 3 months down the road or 4 months into saving. But also, if I don't spend the whole thing one year, that money obviously rolls over to the next year, so I'm able to use that towards that. The other thing is I sell my items. So if there's a luxury item that I can do without, or I'm, through using it and I feel like it's time to move on, I will use the money that I get from that and put it towards whatever luxury item that I have on my wish list. Now, what you can also do, which I see some other people do online, is do a money challenge. Kayla Walker, who I'll link down below, has a money challenge. I think it's called Get to the Money Challenge. So if you get into this challenge, basically you save a certain dollar amount based on the week of the year. So if it's like the 4th week of the year, you put $4 into the account that week, so on and so forth. So by the time you get to the 52nd week, you put $52 into that account, and I think it amasses to about $1,400. So you could easily use that as your splurge money or your little splurge account. And I also believe they put it into a separate account for you, so you're not even noticing when it's in there. When it's time to cash out, you cash out. I will definitely link that Get to the Money challenge because I think Kayla's doing it this year again. So now for my tips, you guys. I'm letting you into my brain and giving you all the key things that work for me when I shop. So pay close attention, get a pen and paper, make sure you write these down because I promise you they are going to come in handy when you are looking for whatever items. The first thing you gotta do is make sure you have a wish list. Like, if there's nothing else that you do, make sure you have a wish list. The wish list is so important because, first of all, it keeps you from shopping on impulse. And it allows you to be able to prioritize. So let's just say something comes up that's not on your wish list, but you know you wanted it at one point. Is it worth forfeiting an item on your wish list for? Because you have that pool of money that you're working with. At least for me, that's how I work. I have a pool of money that I'm working with. So when I look at my wish list and something pops up that's not on it, is that item worth forfeiting something that's on my wish list? Because I'm only restricting myself to that pool of money. So really what you need to ask yourself is, if that one item on your wish list, or if anything on your wish list shows up tomorrow, was it worth forfeiting for this item that just showed up today? And that's the question you need to ask yourself. And if it's really one of those items that is like a collectible and you forgot about it and you may never come across it again, sure, You have full autonomy to make that decision. And a lot of times I do that. Because I have that wish list, I'm able to make that informed decision. So always make sure you have that wish list to refer back to for many different things. The next thing you want to do is know your prices. That is the second most important thing. You have got to know what something was retail and also what the resale value is. When you know that information inside and out, you are in the game. That's when you're able to know, okay, I'm capping out at this amount. I don't want to exceed this amount for this particular item. Why? Because you know exactly what it went for, and you also know what it's going for pre-loved. For example, I know that I want the Louis Vuitton pochette bag. It's on my wish list, right? That is selling for well over retail because one, it's high in demand and it's sold out. Because of this, it's really difficult for me to find, but I've also seen it sell for $1,500, $1,600, $1,700. So I put myself at a cap for $1,600. I'm not going over $1,600, which means I'll probably have to be patient and wait around, which is okay with me, but I know I'm not going above that, especially since I've seen it sell for that amount a few times. So I know I'm able to get it. I just, once again, need to be patient. The next thing is to keep an eye out for things that have been on the market for a really long time. In fact, I'm getting ready to implement this next step that I'm about to tell you right now. When you know how long something has been on the market, especially since it's been on there for a long stretch, you are in a position to be able to go in and put an offer, especially on sites like Poshmark and eBay, where you're in direct communication with the seller. Because you also have to remember, guys, that we are in the middle of a pandemic. So people aren't selling things because they want to, they're selling it because they simply need the cash. So your offer presents itself as an opportunity for cash for them, and you also get the item that you want in return, and probably at a way lesser price than you thought you'd get it to begin with. I'm actually about to put in an offer on something that I've seen sitting on the market for a very long time. I mean, it's been months, you guys, and there's been no movement. I've seen no comments. So I'm like, you know what? I'm ready to get it. I'm gonna put in an offer. So you guys will know sometime next week whether or not I was successful. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so now for the places that I shop. There are a number of places that are tried and true that I shop at, but there's also a few that I'm gonna throw in here that I haven't shopped at, but they have a really good reputation and I think they're definitely worth mentioning. So the first place that I shop is eBay. I am a diehard long-time eBay shopper. I even bought my very first car off of eBay, and I probably bought my first luxury item on eBay as well. I love eBay because you have access to the global market, so you're not just limited to things that are here in the US. Things can come from other parts of the world. Because of that, the net is cast a bit wider and you have more options in that sense. I also love that you have a direct connection with the seller. So if you'd like, you can make an offer, which I've done many times, you guys. Once something is on eBay listed, even if it doesn't have that offer tab on there, you can still message the seller directly and see if you can get an offer in that way. And I've done it a million times and been successful. It never hurts, guys. Always shoot your shot. I am the queen of shooting my shot. So do not hold back and be leery about putting in an offer. The worst they could do is say no, and then you just pay the full price for whatever it is. But always put in an offer if you're able to. I actually got these Gucci mules from eBay, and just to prove what I was saying earlier, these mules were listed on Poshmark and eBay for different prices. I was able to know that they were the same item because they had the same exact photos. So I knew they were the same seller. I kept my eye out on it and saw that it was on there for a while. And once I saw that they lowered the price on one of the platforms, I knew that this seller was encouraged to sell quickly. So I reached out, put in an offer, and sure enough, they accepted it because, again, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Folks are just trying to get things off of their hands and get some quick cash. So I was able to get these for damn near new. You guys, I wore these probably twice, and you barely see anywhere from me. So imagine with the person. I got it at a perfect price, and it was way more competitive than what I was seeing everywhere else. They were selling for like $8, $900, almost $1,000, and I got them for $600. So me putting in that offer was a really good move. The other place that I shop is Poshmark. I actually got these Louboutins from there. These are my first pair of Louboutins, I want to say, and I got them at a really good price. They were probably like $400 and they were in really good condition. What I will say is always make sure that you note anything that wasn't pictured in the listing. So these marks on the bottom of the shoe weren't pictured, and when I let Poshmark know, they gave me like a $75 discount, so that was good. Always make sure you advocate for yourself in all those ways, because you're always going to end up getting more money back in your pocket. So guys, I am not just telling you these tips, these are things that I actually do myself. I also love Poshmark because again, they have a wide array. Even though they're based in the US, if there's something that you're unable to find, you'll be able to find it on Poshmark. And the other thing that I also like about them is that they're very searchable. If I'm looking for something on Google, Poshmark's items will come up almost firsthand, which is really good because that assures me that I'm not missing out on any items that I'm trying to search for, because I know that Poshmark's items are SEO friendly. Now the other place which I became privy to probably a couple years ago is Vestiaire Collective. I love Vestiaire so much. I actually bought the leopard print Gucci mules from them, but I ended up selling them on eBay, which is the money that I used to buy the black Gucci mules. So you see how I did that, right? I love Vestiaire, like I said. What I notice about them is that their things sell at a better price than most pre-loved markets. I don't know why, but as I continue to pay attention, that is the trend that I have noticed. For example, there's a pair of boots on Poshmark right now. There's some that are on there for $1,300. There's some that are on there for $2,000. On Vestiaire, they're going for $500, $600, $700, which is a steep markdown from what they are on Poshmark. So always make sure you're checking all of these sites to compare the prices, even though they're all still in the pre-loved category. You just want to make sure you're getting the best price possible. The only downfall when it comes to Vestiaire is that they don't have a certification to ship real fur or sunglasses overseas. I have no idea why that is. Actually, there are two things that I want right this second that are on the site that I'm unable to get just because it won't ship to me. So that is definitely a drawback that really makes the shopping experience on there very disappointing, but they do have a plethora of items that you can choose from. The next place is The RealReal. I know everybody's heard about The RealReal. I love The RealReal, even though I haven't actually purchased anything from them. I see things on there all the time and I put them in my favorites. There's actually something on there that I'm trying to see if I should forfeit something on my wish list for, because it is something that I wanted back when it was in season. So I'm in the middle of trying to make that decision to see whether or not I should actually bite the bullet. But they have a lot of great items, and what I love as well is that they always have this 20% discount. Now, as of lately, I've seen that they have excluded some items to get that 20% off, but most of the items qualify for that 20%, so that's good. The other thing is, if you throw something in your cart, they hold it for you for an hour, and they actually have a timer there which shows you how long you have in that cart, which I think is really cool because essentially you're putting it on hold. So let's say you can't really make a decision right away and you need a little bit of time to think about it. Throw it in your cart, put a timer on for an hour, and think about whether or not you want to get this item. So I really like that because again, you're basically putting it on hold. And there aren't many sites that do this, so I like that they have that option. The next place is Tradesy. It's a wonderful place to shop and they have a wide variety as well. I actually got these Fendi boots from there. These were actually on The RealReal originally. There was this mark on there that I actually reported to them, and I think they took it off the site because of that. And then I ended up seeing them listed again on Tradesy for $200 less. So I was able to grab them at a great discount, and they also gave me a $75 coupon because of that mark that was on there. So that to me was a great buy. Tradesy also always has some sort of promotion going on. Sometimes they'll have $50 off, $500 or more. Whatever it is, they always have some sort of promotion, and I like that they do that because whenever you're getting a deal off of pre-loved, it's already a steep discount from the original price, add to that a promotion, you're really getting yourself a good deal. You can favorite things in Tradesy as well. So if there's something that you have your eye on and you're thinking about it, just throw it in your favorites so that you don't have to go back and search for it all over again. There's this bag that I see that's sold on there that I'm so upset I missed, but I love the selection that Tradesy has. I know if I don't find anything on all these other sites, Tradesy is just another place that I can go to look for anything that I have on my wish list. So I always make sure I peruse all of these sites to make sure that my wish list items aren't sitting on either of them. And I always do frequent searches just to see if anything that I want is on there. The other site that I would recommend is Fashionphile. Although I haven't shopped on there, I have heard rave reviews about them. The most popular one that I hear is that their items are like new, even though they're pre-loved. Actually, Rochelle from Beauty Curve just showed her baby bag that she got from there. It was a Gucci baby bag. She's always talking about how Fashionphile's bags come like new, and just so we could see for ourselves, she showed us, and sure enough, you guys, the bag looked brand spanking new. But of course, they have to advertise it as used because it is secondhand, but it is in pristine condition. If you shop on there, just know that you will get something that is immaculate. The only thing I will say about Tradesy is that they're definitely on the higher scale. Their prices are a lot higher than all the other sites that I've mentioned. So if I'm looking for something, Fashionphile is not the first place that I'm gonna go for it. Plus, they only sell bags and shoes from what I can remember, and sometimes I'm looking for other things, although bags and shoes are probably my most popular searches for things that I have on my wish list. Of all the places that I've shared with you today, the real MVP when it comes to searching for anything that is on your wish list is to do a thorough Google search. That is how I was able to luck up on getting my Dior book tote. This bag right here. This was sitting in my Tradesy favorites. No, not my Tradesy favorites, my Vestiaire favorites for over $3,500. Not that I was gonna get it, but I just put it there as a marker because I knew it was a bag that I really, really wanted. It was on my wish list, and I just kept asking myself, there's gotta be someplace else where I can get this cheaper. I knew it was wishful thinking, and I went ahead and did a thorough Google search and found this on StockX. And StockX is not a place that I would go firsthand to get anything. I thought it was a place for sneakerheads, but it ended up showing up on there, and I ended up getting it for a steal. And that would not have happened if I didn't do a thorough Google search just to see what the internet would rake up from all these other sites. Now, I will tell you that when you're doing that Google search, not everything from all these platforms are gonna show up. So you have to kind of familiarize yourself and know what usually pops up. So when I'm doing Google searches, things that are on the real Fashionphile or not Vestiaire Collect, Poshmark, eBay, those things will pop up. Vestiaire, I feel like, is like an underground thing where it doesn't always pop up. Sometimes it does, but more times than not, it doesn't. I actually have to go to the actual platform to specifically search for what I'm looking for. So that is all for my tips, you guys. I hope that is helpful. Don't forget to make sure you know your prices, make that wish list, and put in those offers on things that you have your eye on, because you never know, you might actually get yourself a winner. If you'd like to keep up with me, follow me on Instagram at TheCassanEdit. And if you like what you saw here today, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification down below so you are up to date on all my videos. See you guys next time. Bye, y'all.